Joining me now to discuss this further is Indigenous Leader Warren Mundine. Warren, thank you so much for your time. Can I start by getting your reaction to what we saw yesterday, including this?
We're sick of seeing our children taken. We're sick of seeing our men demonised. And we're sick of the racism in this country, from the federal parliament, poison chalice that it is, right through to the everyday streets that we walk down.
And when she had calmed down a little, the Senator had this to say.
We look at the Closing the Gap report. Where are they failing? Incarceration and child removal. Simple. Implement the recommendations that our old people have been doing for the last 30 years.
What would that mean, Warren, in practical terms, if children who were at risk were not removed, if offenders who are committing these offences are not incarcerated? What would that mean for those communities?
Well, you're seeing it right now. You know, I was the Wetherill government in South Australia got me to be chair of their panel looking at reoffending and how do you reduce that. And we looked at adult prisons, we looked at juvenile prisons, we went to Western Australia, we went to a number of places and looked at this. I sat on the Juvenile Crime Prevention Committee, you know, and I also co-chaired the sexual abuse of Aboriginal children in New South Wales. Look, these people are off with the fairies. You know, it just drives me really angry. And the media, you look at the ABC, you look at SBS, you look at National Indigenous TV, you look at you know, Channel 9, Channel 10, all these, Channel 7. You know, where are the voices, and where are they not screaming out for these women's lives, for these men's lives, for these kids' lives who are totally trapped in this cycle of violence, of death, rape, and just incredible, disgraceful stuff. You know, I just find that there's not a politician in this country, there's not a media outfit in this country who should not hang their heads in shames for letting this happen. And Jacinta Price, Best Price have been saying it not just now, they've been saying it for decades. You know, they've been out there campaigning on this stuff for decades.
And been attacked for it. This is what's so incredible. They have been the ones who have been speaking for the victims, and instead of getting support, they get attacked. I mean, it is such a toxic debate in this country right now. But to give Lydia Thorpe some credit here, she's at least honest enough to make it clear that the end goal of what we are seeing with some of this activism is a treaty, not just a race-based referendum and a so-called additional voice. That really is the long game here, isn't it, Warren?
Look, I'll say it now. Anthony Albanese is running this country into the ground. He is avoiding actually doing anything constructive for Aboriginal people, and you've got two Aboriginal ministers in a row, Ken Wyatt and Linda Burney, and you've got to ask serious questions about what they've actually done. You know, these people, you know, Linda Burney's been a minister in the New South Wales government, and she's now a minister in the federal government. You know, I'm just, you know, I've been in these communities day in and day out. Before the COVID, I was spending 3 days a week in these communities. And you had to be blind, Freddie, and deaf to not notice what was happening around you. And you see these idiotic, insane policies, and now they're going to spend $200 or $300 million, whatever, on this stupid voice to Parliament when they actually should be out there doing actions and working with those decent, good people on the ground and cleaning up this mess.
And what do you make of this campaign now that seems to be gaining some momentum, the Pay the Rent campaign? The scheme is, and I quote, paying the rent is about non-Indigenous people honouring the sovereignty of Aboriginal people. It's a somewhat more just way of living on this stolen land. Warren, I mean, is this reconciliation?
It's a continuation of these idiotic policies when they should be facing about some of these communities which is in such dire strait where you can't go out at night, you've got to hide your kids. When I was doing in Dubbo, over 20 years ago, we had the night patrol. We were picking up kids on the street and we were taking them home, and I can tell you, I understand why they were on the street. It was safer for them to be on the street. Oh. We've got to face the factual evidence that is out there and do something about it. Every Aboriginal Affairs ministers in the country should be all packed up and sacked. Every government should be done that, and every media outset who are ignoring this is a disgrace. I'm angry, and I'm getting angrier by the day with all this nonsense, with all this stupid stuff. Where's the feminists coming out and supporting the Aboriginal women? These women are living in poverty and in violence. And what are they doing about it? Jacinta, the Senator Price, when she went to the Parliament to do her maiden speech, she took an auntie down there who had scars all over her body. From the beatings that they were getting in their community. But no one cares. That young Aboriginal person who was killed in the police action up at Yuendamu, he had never a chance from conception. That alcohol, petrol sniffing, drugs and everything. Just unimaginable that we're living in a first world country and all this is happening, and all these people are sitting back going, we think we should put a sticker on our car that always is and always will be Aboriginal land. Change the date. Not one person is going to be saved out of this whole mess. And and bloody Albo went up there mealy mouth and had to be dragged, kicking and screaming. Bloody do something about it. And same with the Northern Territory Chief Minister. Get off your ass and actually do something constructive. Stop making up nonsense and actually, get it fixed.
Warren Mundine, what you've said breaks our hearts. It really does. It should not be happening in Australia, and the condition those kids, those women have to exist in is just not acceptable in this country. Thank you so much for your passion and your courage. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you, Rita.